Hello, everyone. Well, it was quite the evening, quite the exciting evening. Neighbor started a fire in her apartment and had to had to call for help because the alarm was going on and on and on. And the alarms are sounding throughout our whole country and the whole world because Russia has invaded Ukraine. They finally did it. They had Ukraine surrounded. They built up their troops, built up their troops, built up their troops. Now they're moving into eastern Ukraine, conquering all the land in eastern Ukraine. But they aren't, they're not going to stop there. They're not going to stop there, no, because they said that Ukraine has ties with Russia, ties going back thousands of years, and that the Ukrainians should be a part of Russia. So they're arguing right now that they should be that Ukraine should rightfully be a part of Russia because of the strong ties of kinship between Ukrainians and Russians. And they're accusing the Ukrainian government of genocide and saying that it's a puppet of the West. It's just a puppet we're pulling the strings of the Ukrainian government from the West. They're telling their people all of this. They're telling the Russian people all of this to sell them on war. And the Russian people believe it. They believe every word they hear. 97% are in agreement with the government of Russia because what they hear is very carefully controlled and orchestrated by the government of Russia. So Russia has gone from being a Soviet country, a communist country, to being an imperialist country that wants to have an empire of greed, a greedy empire that gobbles up other countries and makes them subservient slaves to Russia. Not because of the cause of communism. No, communism isn't the cause anymore. Now it's the imperialist cause. And Putin wants to be the emperor of his own new empire, to include Ukraine, maybe Poland and Romania. Maybe he'll push further and take Eastern Germany, and he wants his old empire back. Maybe even better than ever. Maybe more countries than before. Maybe he's got world domination ambitions. So we don't know what Putin is going to do, but it's very sad. It's very, very sad. And Biden should not have pushed Putin. That's why all this is happening, because of Biden's besetting sins. He's got a big mouth, and he loves to talk. He loves to hear himself talk, and he loves to mouth off. And so Biden, because of his mouth, got us into this war. He even went on, I heard him say it, I saw the footage. I don't have the footage in front of me. I don't have it in front of me anymore. But I heard him say, we are at war with Russia. Before Russia invaded, okay? He said, we are at war with Russia. And the other day he was saying that Russia had invaded Ukraine even before they had invaded. He was telling everybody that Ukraine had already been invaded by Russia because of some sort of intelligence that he had gotten. And the intelligence was false, but he reported beforehand that Russia had invaded Ukraine before it even happened. And that really made diplomacy die, because once Russia had invaded, it was too late for diplomacy to work. because they refuse to, they just cut off all contact with Putin once he did the deed and invaded. So that's what they're telling us. They're telling us that there's no place for diplomacy. But there is a place for diplomacy if Biden was willing to bend and say that Ukraine wouldn't be a part of NATO, although that might have been a demand that Putin knew would never, ever be fulfilled. And because it was never going to be fulfilled, maybe he felt safe in making that demand, knowing that he would get what he wanted, which was to invade the Ukraine. He just wants the territory. So he made unreasonable demands that he knew would be rejected just so that he could invade. And Biden, for his part, was sounding the drums of war. Drum, 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 drum. He even went on TV and said, I say these things not because I want a war, but because, there's a war imminent, and you'd all deserve to know. But he really does want war, so he lied. He lied. He wants war. And the reason he wants war is because he works for the elites. You think Biden's elite? Oh, Biden is hardly elite. He's got elitists pulling his strings like a puppet from behind the scenes, and they're controlling Putin and Biden. They have that much control, these elites. They decide what happens in our world. These elites have that much power that they control, and they decide what happens in our world. They have a plan for us, see? They have a master plan, and they implement their master plan. Bush is one of the elites, and he said it best. We want a new world order, and when we succeed, and we will, then the new world order will begin. Bush said it best. Bush is one of the elites, and they know that they can have their new world order. But first they have to bomb the heck out of everyone to get their new world order to work. And the elites have a plan for us. They have a plan to take over our world. They have a plan to take over our world and implement a new world order that is strictly strict, strictly utilitarian. Everyone is a serf. There's no personal freedoms, and it's all one government for the whole world. And the UN is just a foreshadowing of this world government that is coming. It's new world order. But it's going to be a very, very sad world we're going to be living in, because all the beautiful cities, all the buildings, all the people, all their artwork, all the beauty be destroyed. It'll be gone. There'll be many species extinct. There'll be shells where there used to be cities. Just empty shells, rubble, graffiti from people wanting to mark up the new emptiness. Rubble for buildings, just complete rubble. Dead everywhere. Dead people everywhere, and radiation poisoning. Acid rain falling from the skies. It's full of nuclear radioactive waste. And radiation sickness everywhere. It's going to be the bleakest, the saddest, the ugliest world you can possibly imagine, all because of Putin, and all because of the elites behind Putin that are pulling the strings. And as I've said before, the elites have a number of different motivations. Some of them want the second coming of Christ. They think they can make it happen. the second coming, and they'll be taken up to heaven once they've started this war to end the world. Others think of global warming, and they're environmentalists, and they think that the best way to avoid a climate Armageddon is to destroy all the human beings that are making the pollution. Pollution is bad. Human beings make pollution, so human beings have to be eliminated. But what they don't know is if they eliminate all the human beings, they'll have to destroy the environment along with it. The environment will be completely devastated by a nuclear war. Everything will be destroyed. All their sealies that they love, seals that rescue people off the coast, they'll all be dead. All the seals will be dead. All the fish will be dead in the water. All the kangaroos will be dead. All the koalas will be dead. All the bears will be dead. All the raccoons will be dead. Well, maybe not the raccoons. Raccoons have a subtlety to them that allows them to survive just about anything. But a lot of species will be dead. A lot of species will be dead. They will die if there's a nuclear war. Why do I think there could be a nuclear war? Because U.S. getting involved with Russia's ambitions. U.S. getting involved trying to stop Russia's ambitions, trying to stop Putin. Putin could decide to steam shovel right over us. His nation will be destroyed too. His nation will be devastated. Moscow will be a shell. If anybody can strike Moscow, they will. Maybe 20 countries have their nuclear weapons all aimed at Moscow. So Moscow won't survive. And if Moscow and Kiev and all these other countries, all these other cities fall and are empty shells with dead people all around, and only the rural people survive, it's going to be a very sad day for Russia. Russia will be an empty shell of what it once was. And even if they are able to invade America, there won't be much left for them in America. Once they've shelled America, completely flattened America with their nuclear weapons, there won't be much left for them. There won't be much left, and there will be no reason to celebrate the world being taken over by a one world government. There's not going to be anything to celebrate once the world is completely leveled and destroyed by nuclear weapons. Will humans survive a nuclear war? Let's hope so, but it's looking bleak. It's looking very bleak for humans and their animals. And the animals too. It's looking bleak for the animals. It's looking bleak for our pets. And all the creatures that gather near to human beings in order to survive, like crows and raccoons and mice. It's looking bleak for the animals, because they'll be destroyed in a nuclear war too, all the animals. It's not pretty. It's not pretty, and it's not nice. It's ugly. Nuclear war is an ugly, ugly, ugly thing. It's an ugly business. Nobody wants a nuclear war except stupid Putin. Stupid, stupid Putin with his ugly mug wants a nuclear war that he thinks he can win and then become the new master of the universe, at least the Earth universe. That little corner of the universe called Earth. He wants to be the emperor of it. Who's going to want to make him emperor? People hate him. People absolutely loathe him and despise him. He'll be the first one to go. They'll kill him. They'll kill him even in Russia. When they see what happened to their Russia and what's left after the nuclear war. They'll take Putin out. I mean, even our leaders will be blamed. Even our leaders will be blamed, but maybe they'll survive. Maybe. But Putin, everyone will blame Putin. Everyone will blame Putin for a shelled out world. Putin thought he could get away with it during the Biden presidency because he perceives Biden as a weak man. A weak man and an easily pushed man. Get all of his sanctions lifted, get all the things he wants, all his goodies, if he invades. But it's too late now. Because he's invaded, he doesn't get any of his goodies, doesn't get any of his demands met. He'll just have to settle for his new empire of waste, a wasteland, like that T.S. Eliot said, the wasteland. T.S. Eliot was the one who coined the phrase wasteland. But it'll be a wasteland. There'll be nothing to rule over, nothing to see, nothing to do. I'm asking all of you now, I'm asking you, I'm begging you, please get out of the cities. Because the cities are the nuclear targets. They'll be the first to go. If you want to live and you want to survive, it's very doubtful. That's another question. Would you even want to survive a nuclear war? Would you want to live in a post-nuclear world? A post-apocalyptic world? Would you want that? Do you want that for yourself and your children? Or would you rather be the first to go? It's a very salient question, because some people who survive may want to commit suicide afterward when they see what a post-nuclear world is like. It'll be starvation, which is an awful way to go. It's awful starving to death. Devastation everywhere. And it's just a question. It's a question, do you want to survive? It's doubtful. There is a certain level of doubt as to whether you would want to survive in a world like that. But life will go on. So if you do want to survive, remember the promise that life will go on. Life will go on, but in a very limited fashion. There may not be much food. There may be people facing starvation. People might kill you for your food. They might go after you and try to kill you to get a meal. Yeah, people will kill for food. People are hungry enough, they'll kill for food. If they think you have food, they'll kill you. So, it's a question. It's just a simple question, whether you want to survive a nuclear war or not. There's no easy answers to that question, but you'll have to answer it for yourself, possibly, if Putin continues on his trajectory. The nasty Putin had the nerve to test a nuclear missile, sans the nuclear warhead. They didn't have the nuclear warhead, but they tested the missile. They tested a nuclear missile, and to see if the missile was working and would go the distance to its target, to its intended target. They're testing a nuclear missile. So, Putin is a nasty man. He is an ugly, nasty man. And I don't want anything to do with that Putin. I would sure hate to be in Biden's shoes being forced to talk with Putin. Because Putin is a rat. He is a dirty rat. He wants to bomb millions of people and silence their voices forever. What a nasty man. What a nasty, dirty trick. To take away people's lives, to take away their world that they've known all this time, to take away our cities, to take away our beautiful open spaces, to make rubble of our buildings, and to kill as many people and animals as possible all at one time. That is nasty. I'm telling you, that's nasty, it's cruel, it's vicious. Anyone who believes in him right now, they're not going to believe in him in a post-apocalyptic world. I'm telling you right now, if it comes down to nuclear war, nobody is going to want to follow Putin. Nobody. They'll spit on his image. They'll spit on him. He'll be hated by everyone. I'll leave you with this. If you want to survive a nuclear war, then make your preparations now. It's maybe almost too late. May almost be too late to make your preparations, but try to get out into the country if you can. Buy a piece of land, set up a yurt, a yurt or a tent, whatever you have, and just live off the land, because you're going to need land, because that's the only way you're going to survive this nuclear war that may be coming, might be coming. It's not a definite, nothing, it's all up in the air right now, but the way Putin is behaving, it may become a reality. And I'll see you next time.